State of the franchise for the Buffalo Bills. So the Buffalo Bills finished the 2020 NFL season with a 13-3 record. They won the AFC East division, and they went all the way to the AFC Championship game where they were defeated by the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, everybody who has been subscribed to the channel for a very long time knows that I am a die-hard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. But if I was to have a second favorite NFL team, it would be the Buffalo Bills. I love rooting for the Buffalo Bills. The main reason why I love rooting for the Buffalo Bills is because I'm the guy who loves rooting for the underdog. The Buffalo Bills are a small market team that doesn't really get a lot of national media attention. So on top of that, Buffalo also has one of the best fan bases in the NFL and Bills Mafia. I love Buffalo Bills fans. You guys show a lot of support to the channel. As a matter of fact, you have showed way more support to the channel than pretty much any other fan base in the NFL since I've been on YouTube. So I have a lot of love for you Buffalo Bills fans and a lot of love for Bills Mafia. But not only do I have a lot of love for you Bills fans and Bill Mafia, but I also have a lot of respect as a die-hard football fan for what the Buffalo Bills organization and for what this franchise has become. Because for the average NFL fan, they think that the key to becoming a championship caliber football team is by having a franchise quarterback and having a great head coach, which two of those things do matter, but it's more to it than that. It's levels to this. Okay, so first of all, it starts at the ownership level. You have to have a owner that is okay with only cutting the checks and is able to allow the guys who he hires to make the football decisions to solely make the football decisions and not having his hand in a cookie jar trying to force who he wants to be signed and who he wants to draft. You have to trust the guys in the front office when it comes to making the football decisions. So Buffalo has one of the best front offices in the NFL, and that's where it starts, because the teams who have a great history of winning always have great front offices. Now, when you have a great front office, it's a trickle-down effect, because when you have a team that has a great owner, has a great general manager, most of the time you're going to have a really good team, because then you're going to have a general manager that's able to find a good head coach, which Buffalo was able to find a gem in Sean McDermott. Now, what Sean McDermott has done in Buffalo has been nothing short of remarkable. Sean McDermott took over a Buffalo Bills franchise that prior to his arrival didn't have a lot of success. It's one of the most losingest franchises in the NFL. So Sean McDermott has to take over as a head coach for the Buffalo Bills in a small market that a lot of free agents aren't really all that attracted to. So the key to building a great franchise is, first you have to have a great front office. Then you got to bring in a head coach that's able to establish the culture. And JT, how do you establish a culture? Well, first, it's not all about bringing in all these talented guys. It's all about building through the draft first and bringing in underrated free agency signings like John Brown, for example, is a good example of that. He's not the most household name, but he is a very productive football player when he's on the field. Plus, he's also great in the locker room, which goes to building your culture. So first, when it comes to building your culture, first you have to build through the draft. You have to bring in, overlooked free agents signings that aren't that flashy, but you're bringing in high character guys who are going to allow you to build that culture up. Okay, so you look at Sean McDermott. He came into the NFL swinging. He went to playoffs with Tyrod Taylor. Okay, so now Buffalo has quickly established a winning culture. Well, not a winning coach, but they have established a pretty good culture, which is where a lot of coaches fail to reach that landmark, because you have coaches like Matt Patricia in Detroit who has taken over a franchise that hasn't really had a long substantial amount of success when it comes to winning football games. So you have Matt Patricia, who failed in Detroit because he wasn't able to properly establish that culture. And it's really hard to establish a culture when you have a franchise that doesn't have a long tradition of winning, but also when you're losing games. So you have Sean McDermott, who's able to win over the Buffalo Bills locker room right away and gets the players to buy in. So then Buffalo goes ahead and they draft Josh Allen. So you draft Josh Allen and you develop him. Unlike most teams in the NFL now, they are so quick to move on from quarterbacks than they are to sit back and develop guys. Like, for example, the Miami Dolphins, the New York Giants, the Denver Broncos. A good amount of those fans want to move on from the young quarterbacks that they have because they don't have patience. They expect the rookie quarterbacks to just pop off right away like Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. It doesn't work like that. When Josh Allen started his rookie season and everybody was criticizing Josh Allen, saying that he was the next NFL bust, Buffalo never came off Josh Allen. They never stopped believing in Josh Allen. You want to know why? Because they believed in their culture and they believed in their ability to build a good football team. They weren't trying to find a guy who was going to bring them the most success overnight. They were trying to find a guy who they could bring in, who fits the culture that they want to implement, and who they could build around. And that's what Buffalo did. A lot of these NFL franchises now, they're not patient. They always want guys to have that overnight success. And I remember I had a coach in middle school one time that told me everybody wants to have that overnight success, but nobody wants to work hard. Everybody thinks success is supposed to come overnight, and that doesn't happen. For some people it does. For some people, success comes at different times. Success may be coming for certain people in a month. It may take people a whole decade to have success. But what it's about is being patient and developing. And that's what Buffalo did. They developed Josh Allen. They built a good team around them, and now it's paying off for them. So it is levels to building a great organization in the NFL. It all starts with having an owner that is okay with not being a control freak, that's okay with just allowing himself to cut the checks and allow the other guys who know more about the game to make those decisions. Meanwhile, you have some of the worst franchises in the NFL. The majority of the time, they have owners that always are trying to have their hand involved in something when it comes to the team, i.e. Jerry Jones with the Dallas Cowboys. Instead of allowing the guys who know more about the game than he does, he's always trying to have his hand in something, which is why the Dallas Cowboys haven't been relevant since the 90s. So for Buffalo, okay, you find a diamond in the rough in Josh Allen. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes have transformed to how people evaluate the quarterback position, because I was telling my friend this on the phone. At one point, when the NFL draft came, it was all about finding the guy who was ready to start day one. Okay, that's all scouts cared about. Were you pro ready? They always wanted the most pro ready quarterback. Nobody wanted the quarterback who had all these flaws, who was a work in progress, like Josh Allen. So Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes come into the league. Guys who were quote, quote, raw, who are developmental guys come in, who have a lot of upside, but everybody thinks they're going to be a bust because, they just have too many things to have to work on. So what does Buffalo do? What does Kansas City do? Well, they don't rush these guys to be good right away. They take the growing pains. Kansas City allowed Patrick Mahomes to sit for a year. They didn't throw him into the fire. Josh Allen came in, and yeah, he got injured his rookie season, but Buffalo didn't try to rush Josh Allen's success. He got better year after year, and they built a good team around him. Now the Buffalo Bills, their hard work, their patience has paid off, because not only has Josh Allen become one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, or debatably top 5 quarterback, but without a doubt a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, but you also, with that, are able to trade for superstar players like Stephon Diggs, because when it comes to building a culture, you don't just go ahead and just grab the best guys available. Like, you're supposed to grab the guys who help you build that foundation first. Once you have that foundation expectation in the locker room, then you're able to go ahead and trade for a guy like Stephon Diggs. Because even if Stephon Diggs was a diva and he had personality issues, your culture in the locker room is so strong that one player wouldn't be able to affect that. And when you look at Buffalo, that is evident because Buffalo has built more than a football team. They have built a brotherhood. Okay? For a team to win the Super Bowl, there has to be one team, one goal. In Buffalo, there's no egos. There's no players trying to build up their social media pages. You don't have TikTok influencers dancing on the field for Buffalo. You have a team that is always laser focused and only cares about winning. When they step on the field, they put all their personal agendas to the side, and they all come together with one goal, which is to win football games. That's a big reason why Pittsburgh has not had a lot of success in the postseason over the years, and not a lot of success that they have had in the past decades, because they have too many egos in the locker room that have too many different agendas. Like Juju Smith-Schuster wants to push his TikTok page and things like that, versus just having the whole team just having one mindset, which is winning football games. And that is what I have a lot of respect and reverence for Buffalo, because they have established something special. And when you establish a culture that Buffalo has established, you're going to be a contender for at least a decade, or at least 5 to 6 years. So Buffalo's Super Bowl window is very long. Their Super Bowl window ranges from 7 to 8 years. So as long as Buffalo's culture remains the way that it is right now, I have no doubt in my mind that we are going to see Buffalo win a Super Bowl sooner rather than later. Because Buffalo has really become, the gold standard. Well, not the gold standard, but a great example of how you build up a franchise. Starts up front, starts in the front office. Okay, once you have the good front office, then comes the coaching staff. You bring in a good head coach who knows how to build a coaching staff. Okay, then you have a good coaching staff that's confident in their ability to not only call plays, but their ability to develop the players on the roster, i.e. Josh Allen. So you have a coaching staff that is confident in their ability to develop their young quarterback. You build a team around them. And that's how you get what the Buffalo Bills are right now. So if you are a Buffalo Bills fan, at this point, anything less than a Super Bowl is disappointing. You're not at the point anymore when you should just be satisfied with making it to the playoffs. You're at the point now that if you're not in the Super Bowl and you're not competing for the Lombardi Trophy in February, your season is a disappointment. That is where the level of expectation should be now for the Buffalo Bills. The level of expectation now just isn't, we're okay with making it to the playoffs. We're okay with losing the AFC Championship game. Now, the level that your franchise has reached has now been Super Bowl or bust. The Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Green Bay Packers, the Kansas City Chiefs have reached levels to where it's Super Bowl or bust for those organizations year in and year out. And that's the level that Buffalo has reached. So for the Buffalo Bills fans out there, for Bills and Mafia, I know the loss in the AFC Championship game hurts, but you have something special brewing in Buffalo that is going to last a very long time. And I think that Buffalo is going to be here to stay. Like, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, JT, you can't count out the New England Patriots, which I'm not counting out the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots are going to make one more last stand, okay? Now, you got Miami in there. You're going to have the New York Jets with their new head coach, Robert Saleh, but we haven't really seen the New York Jets play a game yet, so we don't know how good of a coach Robert Saleh is going to be. We can just speculate how good of a coach he's going to be, but none of those franchises have built what Buffalo has built. Now, New England, okay, their culture is still there because they're the Patriots, that's their brand, but at the end of the day, Buffalo has now overtaken the lead dog in that division. Like I said, New England is going to compete. Miami is going to compete. But at the end of the day, Buffalo has built something that is incredibly special. They have built a bond that exceeds more than football. It's like a you got my back, I got your back. It's a brotherhood. It's not just, we're friends on the football field. It's like you can tell, it's just so much brotherly love in that locker room. So for the state of the Buffalo Bills franchise, man, like it is now Super Bowl bust year in and year out for the Buffalo Bills now. So let me know what you guys think about the Buffalo Bills down in the comment section down below. Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content, and thank you for watching.